What's up, Empire fans? So today we're talking about Empire Season 3, Episode 14, Love is a Smoke, and it's not even 420. Keep it locked.
I can't go without you. Got us doing things.
Sultry vibes.
Sultry. I know normally we're like,
Yeah.
oh, there we
beat
go.
dropping.
There she goes. Very Amy Winehouse reminiscent.
Very Amy
I think they're trying to
Winehouse.
make her their little Amy Winehouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
But go, Rumor. I love her voice.
Yes, and she looks great.
She looks amazing.
She looks
She
amazing.
really does.
What's up, guys? I'm Katie Foley. You can follow me at KT Did What Now on all platforms.
Hey guys, we are missing one. We're down
Yes.
alley, but I am Paris Rose. You can follow me on Instagram and Snapchat at Paris Rose with 2 R's.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into it.
Yes.
What a good episode.
It started off a little slow.
A little
I was
slow.
a little bored, kind of like texting for a little bit.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I was
but-
intently taking notes. I'm like, I gotta be lead host today.
Right.
Yeah.
But it really ended up capturing my attention. So
Totally.
thank
so,
you.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. So we start off with Lucius and Cookie talking. They're listening to Crazy for You as we
Yes.
started the show. So we
Exactly.
started the show the same way that they started the show. And Lucius is all, Cookie's like, who'd you write that for? And he's all, oh, nobody.
Yeah.
Like
I'm like-
completely denying it, right?
Like, tell the story. I want to
Tell
know.
the story. And then she's like, did you write that before or after the divorce?
Exactly. She knows.
She knows. She knows what's up. She knows what's up because she
gotta
said that.
pull
that
it
shit's
out of
hot.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. And then we go into Cookie talking to Lucius about Angelo potentially proposing. What do you
Yes.
think?
I guess it's a common courtesy to tell him, but I kind of didn't think it was necessary.
No.
Especially because she didn't even know he was going to propose.
Right.
So it's like, I'm telling my ex-husband that my boyfriend might propose to me. It's kind of like, why?
Right. Well, she did get the tip off from Angelo, which is
Yeah.
strange. I don't remember that tip off ever happening, but about like if he won the primary, which he had at that point, that he would propose. You know.
She did get the tip off, but I just don't feel like if they were living in the same home or a
Yeah.
little bit closer, or they had like little children, maybe then she can tell him. But you guys have separate lives, like Cookie. He doesn't really need to know that your boyfriend might propose.
Absolutely, but I do think since Cookie went from her father's house to Lucius's house, it's almost like Lucius is this weird father figure to her almost, and
It's like her only family to like tell. Like
Yes.
it's only. So I get it, her connection, but I'm just like, Cookie, move on.
come on, girl,
Like, yes, get
move
over it.
on.
That's all.
Bad.
Exactly.
Lucius, bad. Right. So then, Lucius is all, wanting to kill the Vegas plan, and you know how Juliana's like a really bad person, and not getting into that.
Right.
It's just to set us up for the episode.
Well, sorry, just
yes.
going a little bit back.
Yeah.
I was a little bit surprised by Lucius's, it's hard to say.
Yes.
Nice response to her
Oh,
saying
yes, of
that
course, of
Angelo.
course.
I don't know. I kind of expected, typical Lucius.
Yeah.
Like, like over my dead body type of thing. And he gave her his blessing.
He did.
And I think it surprised even Cookie that she was kind of like, really? You're not even going to try to fight for me?
You're not going to fight for me?
Yeah.
Like, totally heartbroken over it. Absolutely. But, I mean, it is Lucius. So, he has a reputation, or, we've seen from the past that he does kind of kill them with kindness, and then he immediately flips. So, I
Yeah.
mean, he may give his blessing about the proposal, but we'll see if they actually make it down the altar.
Right.
Over Lucius's dead body, literally. Great. So then we go into him talking about wanting to kill the Vegas plan, and then we go into the Tori. Tori comes back.
Yes. I'm actually glad they brought Tori back because I've been saying it. I really love her voice.
Yeah.
And I really liked her character. She's the sassy one. No one scares her. She can she can talk bad at Cookie, Shine, Lucius. She doesn't care.
Absolutely.
So I liked her character, and I was a little annoyed or disappointed that they just kind of like took her out. I mean, she just, performed, got Jamal upset, and then bye. She was gone.
Right.
So I'm happy that they reintroduced her because it made sense why they were so quick to just, say bye to her
Absolutely.
character.
Absolutely. And
happy to have her back.
Yeah, and she's totally like Lucius. I mean, she's just willing to just do whatever she possibly can, get down and dirty.
She's ruthless.
Ruthless. You know how she screwed over Jamal, and now she's all, well, I'm supposed to be, recording with Lucius, and Lucius has kind of got me down in lock and key, but I guess I could write a couple songs for, Juliana and for Nessa. Yeah.
Exactly.
To get that Vegas deal to go through. But that, like, we'll see if that actually happens.
It's probably not going to happen.
Right. Probably going to be a little problematic. So then we launch into Andre, questioning, about Lucius and his need for, Lucius to actually be part of this Vegas deal. And Shine comes in and he's like, let's just, get rid of Lucius. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was always wondering why Lucius was so against the Vegas deal, considering it was a good deal. I mean, It made sense for Empire. And so it finally is making sense in this episode because he knows how dangerous Juliana really is. Mm-hmm. And she screwed him over with the $10 million. $10 million.
Yes.
And clearly, I mean, they brought Bunky back. Remember, it was Bunky was his old friend that he actually had murdered or killed him himself.
Right.
So they showed that throwback with Bunky.
Exactly.
And it was clearly all the money that they had.
Yes.
And she took it. So I'm like, oh, they have history, like a bad history. That's why he was so against the Vegas deal. It makes sense now.
It totally makes sense. It totally makes sense. Yeah. And I mean, I could kind of put that together because of, when they were showing like future trailers and stuff like that, they showed a little bit of Lucius and Juliana's dealing together. And obviously it goes real deep. And I mean, this is skipping ahead because, Lucius, it seems like he actually started to develop the same kind of feelings for Juliana that he had for Cookie.
Which is surprising. It only kind of throws me off because it was one night.
Yes.
They had one night together and he was so in love.
Enamored.
And he was like, I
never thought I could feel this way again. Yes.
And then he was all like, I thought the normal Lucius would realize when these guys came in to steal his money.
Right.
That she was a part of the plan.
Yeah.
But he was all like, just take the money, but give me my girl. Like, it's one night, Lucius. Like, she is not your girl yet.
Totally.
And I was just a little bit surprised that he was so naive. At one point of his life, he actually was naive and so in love.
Absolutely.
It's weird to see.
Yeah, and it's got to be after the divorce papers.
Yeah.
You think.
That's a really great question. I would hope that it was after. But
it is Lucius Lyon.
Yeah, I assumed that their relationship was a little bit more in depth and longer. Right. And then so after they had this relationship, then he filed for divorce. Mm-hmm. But now that I know it's only been one night, I'm really wondering when this divorce came into play.
Absolutely.
I have no idea.
We'll see. But then we launch into now kind of the opposite. Now Angelo is coming to Jamal's studio and he's now asking Jamal for his blessings, which I thought was so sweet because
so cute.
Jamal has the best head on his shoulders. I mean, not minus the drug usage. No, hey, Team Jamal, I know I'm a little biased, but he has the best head on his shoulders of all the brothers. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah. I definitely agree. I really like scenes with Jamal because I feel like he's so real.
Yeah,
I feel like he's an amazing actor because it seems like something like my brother would say, like, he's just so human.
Totally.
And it's so cute. And he was like so giddy for Angelo asking. And he's like, are you asking for my mom's hand? It was just so cute.
Like, Mama deserves a good man. Yeah. No, it was really so cute.
I even liked Angelo's like dynamic with him. And he comes in with the joke like, can I get that Cush's gear or something he said.
Right.
It was so cute.
Let's get rid of Cush's. Yeah. Jamal's like, done with Cush's. I know. And then he pulls out that old school record and Angelo's like, well, what about this? And Jamal's like, no. Out with the past. Yeah, Cush's is done.
And I'm so happy. Well, Cush's probably isn't done. Yeah. But I was hoping it was because I hate that name Cush's.
I know. Just for that. Horrible. I mean, despite, Lucius being a horrible person, let's just get rid of Cush's as a word in general because it sounds like an STD. Anyways.
Could they have been Lukey? Lukey?
A Lukey? Exactly. Lukey. Great. So then we launch into the Juliana Cookie, scene where they're running into each other and Cookie's pretending like they've never met before. Right. But clearly,
she doesn't really remember. She knows they met, but she doesn't remember where. And I'm like, Cookie, come on. The hairdresser.
I think she knows.
I think she needs a moment, because she was like, but didn't we already meet? And she's like, no, I haven't. She's like, we met before.
Yeah.
And I think she hasn't really connected, because again, it was just a stranger.
Yeah, that's true.
And the hairdresser who was taking her spot. So she wasn't really trying to look at this lady.
Yeah.
But I want her to put two and two together and realize this girl has been out for you guys for a while. So
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And then we flash back finally to see Lucius and Juliana in the club.
Yes. We finally get the whole lowdown.
Yes.
Wait, the flashback, yes. So
Yes.
We finally get the lowdown on what happened.
Exactly.
I did not know what to expect. I didn't know if she was going to, like... I actually really thought nothing was going to happen. I thought that was going to be the beginning of their romance.
Right.
I thought, and then we're going to get more, like, little clips about their romance. And so I was surprised to see that it was one and done. They showed the romance, and they also showed the end of the romance quickly. I was like, oh, that's it. That was the whole throwback.
Totally. And I love that they met in a strip club. So it's like Lucius is above the strippers. He's all about Juliana. You know, like she's the real eye candy.
Right.
Yeah.
It was really weird. Also, I could not stand Lucius's cornrows, the long ponytail. They need to give him better
Howard,
styles.
you need to cut that shit off.
Give him better styles than that. Like, it just didn't look good to me.
Yeah.
I didn't think it matched the part. But.
No. He looks so sexy with shorter hair.
Yes.
Anyways, but I digress. He's married.
He is.
Right. So and then we find out that her friends call her
what is it?
Gushy or
Juicy.
But
And it's so funny.
But it's like it's got a little bit of a G in it.
Yeah. Juicy. Well, you know what? Like, fun fact.
Yes.
G-I-U is actually Jew in Italian.
Oh.
So, and Juliana is an Italian name. So that's a little fun fact. So Juicy makes sense if she's spelling it like an Italian word.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's funny because she's told, who did she tell? She told Lucius that she goes by Juicy.
Yes.
And someone else, was it Becky? No. Tori. She told someone else that she goes by Juicy, and they're both like, we're not going to call you Juicy.
Yeah, we're not going to call you that.
No.
That's cute. Thanks for the suggestion. But, let's keep it moving. So then, we find out about Raphael.
Yes.
Because Lucius is all, I haven't seen you since Raphael, like last time you were with Raphael.
Right.
And then Shine starts talking about Raphael in the past tense to call out the fact that Raphael is now dead.
Shine messed up his own game.
He did.
He's not supposed to know that much. So referring to Raphael in the past is like, well, how do you know Raphael and how do you know that he's not alive anymore?
Right.
So it was a rookie move on Shine's part.
Yeah,
he really messed up.
Shine is like he is evil, but he's got that brutish evil. He's not
the mastermind.
Yeah, he's not the
evil.
mastermind.
Yeah.
It's why he needs someone like Andre and stuff like that. Yeah. But then, he's not completely screwed over because he's already got Juliana in his corner because they're thinking that, Nessa is going to tie into the whole Vegas thing. And so that they're, allies in this, before
it all
shit
goes
hits
there.
Shit hits the fan.
I was going to say, before it all goes to shit. So we had the same thing in mind.
Absolutely. So then, as you said, Cookie starts putting it together. Okay, Juliana is more than, just, like.
This whole episode, though, you kind of see Cookie being jealous in all situations, or unsure. Like, when she was talking about the proposal and seeing that Lucius really didn't mind.
Right.
It was like you could see in her face she was a little bit distraught. Then seeing the dynamic between Juliana and Lucius there, she's like, he's not telling me everything. And you can see already that she's like...
It's registering.
Yeah, what's going on? You can see her being a little jealous. Like, she wants to know more, so...
Yeah, and it's like beyond like, oh, I recognize her from the hair salon. It's also like... Oh,
this is
piecing. Yeah, this is the other piece of that crazy for you puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then we move on to dinner with the boys, eating Jamaican food, right?
Whoop, whoop. Repping my culture.
Right. And we didn't even, and they just launch right into, I mean, obviously we already know that Hakeem is over it.
Yes.
Which is strange. His reasoning was because he doesn't want to have an old stepdaddy.
That's how you know he's really immature. Like, you guys are grown people. It's not going to be like a stepdad. He's not
babysitting you, Hakeem. All right.
Hakeem, like, he's so immature. That's how you see it.
Yeah.
When he says something like that.
Yeah. It's so ridiculous. Yeah.
The other two are cute, Andre and Jamal.
Right, but Andre has his ulterior motives. Andre is only giving his blessing and will only give his blessing for anything because he wants everyone to sign off on this Vegas deal.
This is why I couldn't be Team Andre anymore. I was so annoyed with him with that sentence.
Yeah.
I was at first like, oh, how cute they both are, supportive. And then he's like, only if you do this. I'm like, how are you going to make a deal with your mom's proposal? Like,
come on, dude. And
is
he's like,
anything off limits?
Right. And then wasn't it Jamal who called him out?
Yeah.
Team Jamal called him out and was like, oh, really? Because these ulterior motives, you will give your blessing, right? And Andre was all, I need everyone's support on this. It's like, yeah. I mean,
it's always business now.
Yeah. Like if Hakeem asked for a piece of cheesecake, he'd be like, all right, yes, but you have to sign off on this Vegas deal. I will walk to Queens, like the Diddy show.
Yes.
Like so
making the band throwback. It's just we don't see Andre just being relaxed and fun anymore. I kind of miss him being a person. Now he's just all about the business.
All about the business. And then he pitches it to Hakeem and is like, well, if we do this Vegas thing, then you'll have a residence, and you see Hakeem kind of like sip and consider it and trying to get everyone on board. Yeah.
He knows what to say to get them. He knows what each of them wants. So. Yes. He's the smart one. He really is.
The smart one. Okay, great. So then we go to Thirsty Shine, Lucius, and Becky. And we're talking about Raphael. Yeah.
I really didn't know how Shine was going to get out of this, like knowing something about Raphael, but he actually, I feel like it was Juliana's plan.
Yes.
To kind of set Lucius up in a way.
Yes. But you notice that Shine doesn't say much.
Yeah, it's
true. He doesn't say much because he knows that he's already said too much. Right?
It's true.
Right? And he's not quick on his feet. So he's like, okay, well, we'll, let me do some digging. Yeah. Some digging, and then I'll come up with something. And he goes to Juliana at that point, which is, not shown. But he goes to Juliana at that point and is like, what do I do?
Like, seriously, I need to get out of this situation.
What do I do? Right, which, brings up she is like a female mastermind.
Yeah.
She is very much a counterpoint to Andre or Lucius, which makes sense that she's like kind of had this sexual thing with both of them.
Very true.
Yeah. Well, then we go back to the studio with Tori and Becky, and I love that Becky's like on it because obviously Boo Boo Kitty is off with Tariq. What were your thoughts on that?
I just love Becky because she's always coming through and that she always has great ideas and she never really gets like acknowledged for it, except this episode she finally did. Lucius was like, Becky with the good ear, which is great, instead of Becky with the good hair.
Yes.
I really like that. And he was right. She had it was a good song. She realized that Tori should sing it and not Nessa.
Right.
Which I completely agree.
Absolutely.
Nessa doesn't have that star that star status.
Yeah, well, and Lucius said when he came in, he's like, she's like a white soul singer.
Yeah. Which is like, I mean, that's hot.
Yeah, so, it is hot. It's totally hot. Yeah. So then, obviously, and then, Tori's obviously on board with anything that Lucius is, oh, great, I'm going to do this Vegas thing. Perfect,
right.
Perfect. And then we launch into the whole Empire Extreme, putting, let's get Nessa, let's get Dre out of the Vegas deal, and let's put Tori on Empire Extreme.
Yep, we got Hakeem, Tiana.
I was going to say, Team Hakeem are the ones who are going to introduce it. And of course, they want to, screw over Nessa and Dre in any way that they possibly can.
And I don't blame them.
No.
I don't blame them, but I found Tiana's... Why? I just found that why was she in the studio? Why did they need her to be sexual with Tori? I just didn't. It was uncomfortable. Their vibes didn't even match. She's in this like tight, straight like jeans outfit.
Yeah.
Tori's all like chill, like Amy Winehouse vibes.
Right.
I didn't really get why they needed her to add the sex appeal.
Yeah. I think it was kind of like they were trying to trick us. I think at first that they were trying to seem as if that Tiana was going to steal the mic from Tori, similar to, her and Nessa's past dealings. But then it went back to season 1, which, guys, I was saying this before. I totally think she's a lesbian. I think that she was so into Tori. Yeah. And it's funny, too, because at first... Hakeem looked a little upset. Yeah. And then he kind of got into it. But then when Tinashe walked in, he was all about Tinashe.
Yes, he was. And I thought Tiana was going to be upset, but they didn't really show that. So that whole scene was all about teasing and sending us the wrong way.
Yes. But then we have to backtrack because we go to Tariq and Boo Boo Kitty.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So Boo Boo Kitty comes in with, the mic, Yeah. So she must have not really gotten felt of that much by Tariq.
Seriously.
If he didn't even notice.
It was on her chest. I mean, that's like the first place to touch. So it must have been
I got injured here. Just hands up anywhere else.
Back rubs or whatever.
Anywhere else, yes.
I really hate that I actually liked Anika in this episode.
Oh.
I really did. She really came through, and she keeps coming through for them. I know she's trying to save her own ass.
Right.
So she really has to step her game up, but she wins every time. She really has a way with being the seductress. And, and it always works.
Yes.
So I have to give it to, like Cookie said, I have to give her props this time.
Yeah. She did come through, and Cookie was surprised too. Yeah. Cookie was surprised too as they're listening in on their conversation, and of course Tariq is just completely taking the bait. Just completely taking the bait. Absolutely. And then we have Baby Bella, a shot of Baby Bella.
Yes.
Cookie is picking up Baby Bella. She's fulfilling her promise to Anika. She will take if Anika is gone, then Baby Bella will be taken care of by Cookie, and so they're listening to the conversation while she's taking care of Baby Bella. And then we launch into again, Angelo is calling Cookie, and he's all like, "Where are you?" And he's like setting up this beautiful dinner at her place. Which, by the way, so now he has a key to
Well, they're serious
to cookies,
now.
right?
Makes sense.
Exactly. Everyone's got keys though on the show. Everyone has keys. And he's setting up this beautiful dinner, and he's like, "Where are you?" And she's all to Lucius like, "Can I go?" Like
I think again she was waiting for Lucius to be jealous or say no, and he was like, "Go,
stop her."
Yeah.
Yes.
He was. I almost too at that point. I'm like, okay, Cookie wants him to stop her, so stop her.
Right.
But he really didn't. He was like,
no,
go get your man.
Go to the point of like obviously then Shine is calling Lucius and saying, okay, I figured out what happened.
Right.
With
Raphael.
Raphael, thank you. I knew it started with an R. With Raphael, come here. Come to this
come to his office.
His office. That's right.
I knew it was a setup, but I didn't know what was the setup.
Exactly, especially because you saw the silhouette in the back, which you knew you had to be Juliana.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why did they make it why did the silhouette when it's just Juliana? Like, I thought it was going to be someone I didn't think, but silhouettes are for people like a new character being introduced or a surprise. Oh, you can't believe it was just Juliana. We know her.
Right, we know her.
We know they're working together.
Met her. Yeah, we met her
no
before.
surprise there.
Yeah. But it was surprising to see Lucius be like, no. I'll be with Bella. You go. Yeah. But then obviously Lucius found a babysitter or something.
Yeah,
because he
maybe
did.
the mom. Because we haven't been seeing his mom.
Right, Mama Leo. Mama Leo came through in the clutch. Yeah. Or the maid.
Yeah,
who knows? Who knows? So then we go into Boo Boo, trying to seduce Tariq even harder, like talking all night to him, blah, blah, blah. And then we go to Angela Cookies. Yes.
Oh, the proposal.
Yes.
Is that what we're talking about? Okay. Oh, I think the teaser from last week showed that a little bit, but I forgot until that very moment. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to propose on air. Yeah. And you already saw that she was like...
Well, no, the dinner.
Oh, yes.
The fake proposal. The fake proposal first. The fake proposal first. Yeah, so they're at dinner, and, and it was funny, too.
Ahead of myself.
Right, because Cookie was like, she's like, oh, you're proposing to go on TV with me. She's like, I just left Baby Bella. No,
she's like, I left for this.
She's like, I left for this.
But you can see already in that dinner that she wasn't that excited about it. I'm like, Cookie, what? She was all like, she makes that face, that like the uncomfortable face.
Exactly. And we should have saw that coming because she needed so much validation from everyone around her about this proposal,
I think she just wanted someone to say they weren't on board. And then she'd be like, oh, I can't do it because Hakeem doesn't want me to.
Right.
But no one was really that, forcing her not to. So she's like, I really have to go through with this.
Yeah, I have to go through with this. Dang, But then she's like, oh, we're going to go on TV together? Okay, right? And so then we go to...
The Office.
The Office.
So I got too fast.
Right. No, all good. Then we go to the Office, and we have Juliana with the gun on Lucius, and she's like, I don't want to shoot you,
Oh, yeah.
But I had to get your attention.
She is putting on an act.
Yes, she is.
Do you think that Lucius can tell. Is he buying this act? I don't know. At first I thought, no way he believes this. I mean, the tears are just, to get him.
Yeah.
But now I'm not so sure that it ended with, and the teasers from next episode shows that they are more in a relationship. So do you think that Lucius actually believes that she is doing this for Lucius?
I think it's a combination. I think that, but first I was right there with you. I think, he was, Lucius is telling her how, you cost me $10 million and you screwed me over with Raphael and blah, blah. And then I think that when she was like, oh, well, it's really hard to get out of, my relationship with Raphael. It took me 15 years, and I will pay you back, but, I killed him for you. Right. I think when she said, I killed him for you, and that in conjunction, because at the end you do see Lucius almost kind of looking like he's feeling her, right? And I think that in conjunction with, him thinking that Cookie is now gone.
Yeah. True.
That he's starting to reconsider something with Juliana.
He should be smarter than that.
I know.
Like, fool you once, shame on you.
Exactly.
Fool twice, shame on
me. Exactly. Yeah, and then Lucius is saying that Anika was never family and trying to and then we go to the proposal on TV together, right? Yeah.
What did you think about that?
I think, because obviously, Angelo was kind of led astray by Jamal, which, Team Jamal, but, because he's like, you have been doing these baby steps, but, Cookie is all about grand gestures. And I feel like it was the same thing as D Major coming in Facebook Live or Instagram Live, whatever live he was. There's so many of them now. Yes. Coming in live and and confessing that he's gay, like it was the same thing. Like, don't put someone on the spot like that. Yeah, especially when you just got this huge, position. Right. You just got won the primary. Yes, exactly.
This is not the type of thing that a mayor does. Maybe if it was Lucius doing like a live proposal, it makes sense. He's in that type of entertainment.
Exactly.
But like someone in politics, that's not the right thing.
It's and you saw his mother, Felicia Rashad, comes back. You saw her face, and she's like, don't do
what's
this.
Gonna happen? I think she had a face like I am sensing that Cookie is not feeling it, because Cookie didn't even say yes. She said, "Oh my God," and he's like, "Yeah," puts the ring on. I'm like,
right,
that wasn't a yes.
Right. Well, I think that what was the host's name? Ryan something. Yeah. I think that he was like, oh, she is saying yes. Yeah. And then Angela felt like, okay, I have the go ahead. Yeah. And puts the ring on her finger, and she just looked so distraught. Yeah. She looked
like, what is happening?
What is happening? So glassy and distraught. Yeah. I mean, yeah. He should have proposed over dinner.
Yes.
Would have been a little bit less pressure. Yes. Do you think that she should have said yes?
I think on air she should have said yes and then did what she did. Like in the behind the scenes, be like, "You're crazy. You put me on the spot." But on air you don't want to humiliate him.
No, absolutely. And so then we go to the behind the scenes and hot mic. Yes.
Hot mic. But is Angelo gonna be in trouble? I mean, he just admitted pretty much on air all these illegal things he did.
Yes.
I feel like that's the end of him being mayor.
Yes.
It's just too fresh that they can't bypass that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's already going to be enough of like a, just like not a scandal, but a bad look that, she said, "Oh my God," and then she actually didn't say yes to the proposal on air. That's already kind of a bad look. But then to say that, he got free to gats out of jail for Jamal.
So, and then she admitted that she kissed Lucius. She has feelings for him. It's like everything you don't want to hear, she said, and it went down. And I didn't know who to feel bad for. I felt bad for Angelo because he really put so much trust into Cookie. Yes. But I also felt bad for Cookie. She was like trying to, finally do something right for her dad. And it just wasn't right for her. And I just feel like she's just confused.
And I love that she finally admitted that. She's like, I left my daddy's house for Lucius's house, and that killed my daddy. And, I know you're like my dad, and you're who I should be with. But I mean, should be with is not,
It's
where your
not
heart
right,
is, what's right. And also, I just thought it was funny. They were talking for so long, and like it seemed like the people backstage were listening for so long.
Oh, they definitely
Even
were.
Felicia Rashad. It was like, how long did it take her? How big is this building?
I know.
How long did it take her to go backstage?
Like, you better take your heels off and sprint. Like, he is admitting to crimes.
Yeah.
You book it. Like,
Yeah,
she
book
was
it.
listening way too long.
Oh my God.
And maybe she was listening at first to hear the breakup because she didn't mind. But then when he started saying, like, admitting to his crime, she's like, all right, let's pull the reins.
Yeah. Let's pull the reins. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And then, and then Cookie gets the call from Andre, which was so awkward. She's like, I have to take this. It's my son.
Mm-hmm. Felicia's like, take that outside.
Yeah, take that outside.
And Cookie didn't even have a comeback. She just like, oh, okay.
No. And then I guess we're skipping ahead too because Andre was obviously calling because that was when all the Vegas stuff went down. So we go into the club area, and here we're thinking that Nessa is going to perform, but in actuality, Tori's performing.
Yes.
And everything's set up like Vegas. So now Lucius is Team Vegas,
Yes.
But Andre and Nessa are out.
Andre and Nessa. I also thought Juliana was going to be out because
Yes.
I thought with, I don't remember her name, but Eva Longoria's
yes.
character, I thought,
Frost.
yes.
Yes.
Something for Chester, Frost, something like that.
Gosh, what was it? Yeah.
But with Frost coming in, I thought that meant Juliana's out, but I guess not. I guess that they're all...
Charlotte Frost.
Yes, Charlotte.
Yes.
I said Chest.
But Chester
yes.
Frost.
I don't know why I thought Chester. But I thought, that meant that Juliana was going to be out.
Right.
Like, ha, got you. But it turns out they're all still working together somehow.
Absolutely. No, I mean, but it does make sense because... Charlotte Frost obviously has an alliance with Juliana, and now, after I think, like we were talking about before, like Juliana admitting that she, killed her husband for Lucius, like Lucius is becoming more Team Juliana. So he wants to get on board with that. He wants to get that $10 million back. Yeah. And he also wants to, stab Andre in the back.
Exactly. And he's doing that. This is the first time where I'm like, you go, Lucius.
Yeah.
Because Andre, I didn't like the sneakiness. And Nessa is not entertaining. Like, she couldn't have killed that song like Tori could. So
no, absolutely. But then Shine comes in and they're all like, all right, let's go get your men. And they're going to now really be after you, Lucius. Yes.
I can't believe Andre can talk with such a straight face about killing his dad.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah, totally. But he wants the Empire.
And he does. Like, at all costs.
Yes.
He's not backing down. Nothing is making him like, maybe I should. It's my dad. Nothing stopped him.
Yeah. And then it was interesting, though. Well, I guess because Cookie got the phone call, then she has to obviously come back and, be at Empire to be there for Dre. But, I mean... After all of that, after, being on TV and saying, the false proposal and everything like that, being there, oh my God. And then how heartbreaking seeing Juliana with, Lucius.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
I felt so bad for Cookie, but at that time I did feel like, I mean, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like, you can't just go back and forth. Ultimately, I'm sure Lucius is the one for her, although it bothers me. But she was trying to, like, juggle both.
Yes, she was.
And it turned around. Like, she got, I don't know the saying, but, like, it turned her in the
Goes
face.
around,
Yeah. Like
comes around?
Yeah,
Sure.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I felt bad for it, but at the same time, I'm like, well, that's the decision you made.
Right.
So.
Right, absolutely.
And now she can't go back to Angelo.
No.
Now that also Felicia is
now gunning for the family. Absolutely. She's like, they're gonna die.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oof.
So, do you have any future predictions?
Ooh, predictions. Oh, I want to just say, yes.
And now, you're AfterBuzz TV.
I love these lights. Predictions. It's about to be a war. It's about to be a war. We forgot to also mention Tariq's finally gone.
Oh, yes. Duh.
Heartwarming moment.
Tariq is gone. Yes.
He actually gave him money to go away.
Yes.
Which was, I don't know if it was like a power move or like a real sympathy, like, you are my half brother. So
yes.
I can't tell which one, but either way, it was great. Tariq's out of the picture.
Tariq's out.
Happy to see him gone.
Yeah. Because otherwise the FBI would be after him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that storyline's done because I was over it.
Bye.
Exactly.
Moving on.
For the future, it is going to be a war. We have Team Felicia and Angelo.
Yes.
Against the Empire. We have Team Andre and Shine against Lucius and the Empire.
Right.
We have Juliana, who's still kind of on her own. Yes, she's pretending to be with them. And then we have Lucius, who thinks he is in control and he's against everyone. So there's a lot. It's going to be an all-out war. And I don't know which team is going to win.
Yes.
Who is going to... Obviously, it's Empire, so probably Team Cookie and Lucius, and the ultimate Empire is going to win.
Yes.
I don't know what's going to happen with Angelo and Felicia and Shine, but they're not going to win. I don't think so.
No.
What do you think?
I think Hakeem is over with, which I said last time. Definitely. I think that Hakeem looking at Tinashe, maybe that's going to be something. You know, Tinashe's helping Jamal with that visual album. So I think that maybe, you know, there'll be something between Tinashe and Hakeem. I think, and I think that Tiana is going to start playing for the female team. And then, you know, I do think that there is going to be it really is going to be interesting what unfolds with Juliana and Lucius, you know? I think that Angelo and Cookie are over with, and it's going to be super messy, you know, because Felicia Rashad is gunning for them, obviously. Right. And the family is going to have to kind of band together, and it's going to be interesting to see, are Lucius and Cookie going to bond over this, you know, and be able to get back together? Because Lucius made it clear, like, him and Anika are not family. They, you know, fuck like rabbits. It was great. But but they're not family. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see if this can bring them actually back together, maybe.
I know.
Yeah.
I also want to know if, I think obviously Andre is going to try to go through with this plan to assassinate Lucius. And it's not going to work out because Lucius can't die.
No.
So is he going to find out that it was Andre? That's what I really want to know. Is he going to realize that his son was really going to kill him?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that moment.
I think he already knows.
You think so? That he knows it? I think he knows he's against him, but I don't think he thinks he's planning to kill him.
I think that it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if Nessa stays with Andre on this train. You know, if she throws him under the bus, maybe to get ahead career-wise. Because obviously Nessa doesn't trust Dre at this point. He already, you know, like, tried to cheat on her. Yeah. Or if Juliana throws him under the bus.
I know.
Because Juliana and Shine are dealing with each other. And you can only imagine that Shine has been, you know, talking to Juliana about advice and stuff like that, you know?
It can really go so many different ways. And so I'm really excited for next episode. See what happens.
Yes. All right. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Katie Foley, and you can follow me at all platforms on Katie Did What Now.
And I'm your girl, Paris Rose. You can find me on Instagram and Snapchat at Paris Rose. So find me, stalk me.
Don't stalk me. Find me.
Yeah. Just find her, don't stalk her.
Don't stalk me. Bye.
We'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio, Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.